Jamie Dornan heartbroken when Dakota Johnson goes public with new boyfriend, fans shocked. The Paris hotel room was bathed in the pale yellow light of the afternoon. Jamie Dornan sat by the window, holding a cold cup of coffee, his eyes glued to the screen of his phone. A message from Dakota Johnson was still at the top of the conversation. "See you at the premiere, don't be late, Dornan." He let out a small, bitter laugh. The words reminded him of the years with her on the set of 50 Shades. Back then, there were lights, a director, hundreds of eyes, but also moments so real that they both forgot they were acting. He remembered the last night of filming the third film. Dakota sat on the steps, her hair disheveled, her shoulders shaking slightly. She said, "After this movie is over, do you think we'll see each other again?" Jamie was silent. Not because he didn't want to answer, but because he was afraid. Now, 3 years later, they were about to meet again at the European Film Awards. The world was waiting for Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele to appear together. Rumors were flying. They were still close, still talking. Some even said they were never really over. Jamie smiled as he remembered Dakota's eyes. Even though she was one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, to him she was still the shy girl who had gotten her lines wrong in her first scene. His phone vibrated. A new message from a friend in the media. "Hey, have you seen the news? Dakota was seen with a strange man in Venice last night." They were holding hands. Jamie paused. His hands were shaking. He clicked on the link. The image appeared clearly. Dakota, in a white dress, her hand clasped tightly with a brown-haired man, her smile, the smile he knew so well, now reserved for someone else. The room suddenly became too quiet. Outside, Paris was still noisy, but inside Jamie, everything seemed to be falling apart. The echo of the crowd. The news spread faster than the wind. In just a few hours, the names Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan covered social networks. Entertainment sites exploded. Dakota Johnson revealed his new lover. How did Jamie Dornan react? Christian Grey is lonely in real life. Fans shocked that Dakota didn't choose Jamie. Jamie skimmed through them all. He didn't want to read, but he couldn't stop himself. Each headline felt like a stab. He wasn't jealous, at least, he told himself so, just a suffocating feeling of emptiness. In London, his wife, Amelia, was still busy with work. They had been married for more than 10 years, had 3 lovely children. The relationship was safe, peaceful. But Dakota, she had been a storm in his life, which was never normal. When 50 Shades ended, they parted ways in silence. Not because they didn't love each other anymore, but because they both knew that feeling couldn't exist outside of that fantasy world. He chose family, she chose freedom. But there were still text messages, backstage meetings at awards ceremonies, handshakes that lasted too long to be called friends. And now, it all vanished in a single photo. That night, Jamie appeared at the awards ceremony as planned. Flashes flashed as he walked down the red carpet. But when Dakota appeared, in a simple black dress, lips red as wine, everything inside him shattered into 1,000 pieces. She walked next to the man. Their hands clasped. Reporters screamed her name, but Jamie could only hear his own heart. A female reporter approached. "Jamie, how do you feel about Dakota appearing with someone new?" He smiled. That smile was on the front page the next morning. "I'm just happy she's happy." No one heard his voice tremble. Unsent messages. After the ceremony, Jamie returned to his hotel room, leaving behind the glittering Paris. He opened his phone. There was a message from Dakota. "Are you okay? I know today might be a little awkward." He stared at the text for a long time. He wanted to reply, "No, I'm not okay at all. I still miss you, still watch your every breath," but instead, he typed, "I'm okay. Is that person good to you?" Dakota didn't reply right away. It wasn't until near dawn that the message arrived. "He's good. I think I need someone normal, not a memory." Jamie chuckled. A memory. Maybe it was right. He was just a memory of a period, a role, a man she knew when they weren't really themselves yet. He deleted the message, but in his heart, he knew he would remember every word. Social media exploded after that. Fans were divided into two camps, one supporting Dakota with the new man, the other pitying Jamie. One wrote, "They are a destined couple. She shouldn't love anyone else." Jamie read those comments and found them both funny and painful. People loved the image they created, Christian and Anastasia, not the real Jamie and Dakota. However, that night, while Paris slept, Jamie opened his laptop and searched for the final scene in 50 Shades Freed. In it, Dakota looked at him and said, "I choose this life with you." The words rang out like a curse. The last meeting, 2 months later, they met again in Los Angeles, at a photo shoot for a fashion magazine celebrating the 10th anniversary of the first film. Dakota was late. She walked in with a smile, a light smile, cut more comfortably, her eyes more mature. Jamie stood up, smiled, kissed his hand and said hello, like two old friends. "Long time no see," she said. "Yeah, long time," he replied. All the problems around her seemed to disappear. It was just them, two people who had passed each other like the wind, now standing in the middle of a room full of memories. The photographer asked him to take a few similar photos. Dakota gently touched his shoulder. That made him shiver. Still the same, still made his rhythm go crazy. After the shoot, she turned and sang. "Jamie, I know it was hard for you to read about me. I'm sorry." He was silent, then spoke slowly. "No need to apologize. You have the right to be happy. Sometimes I wonder, if things were different, could we have?" Dakota smiled sadly. "No one knows, right? Maybe we had it all, just wrong at that time." Before leaving, she turned back, said softly, "Thank you for not hating me." He replied, "How could I hate the person who made me believe in love, even once?" That was the last time they spoke privately. Echoes. A year later, Jamie read that Dakota was about to get married. The press published wedding photos, pictures of the ring. Social networks were in an uproar. This time he didn't feel pain anymore. He only saw yen, the yen of someone who had accepted the past. He wrote her a letter, never sent. "Dakota, I remember the first time you smiled in the 3rd and 7th act, when the whole crew was exhausted. The smile you forgot you were acting. You asked me if we would ever meet again. Now I know the answer is yes, but not to start over, but to say a proper goodbye. I hope you are happy, truly, Jamie." He folded the letter, put it away. Outside the window, the early morning sun consulted an old photo, he and Dakota on set, smiling together. Gently, when he looked back, he still saw himself in her eyes, like two stars that had collided and drifted apart. And fans, though the years had passed, still told about them as a story without an end. A story that everyone knew was fictional, but still made people's hearts ache every time they remembered it.